Hey everybody, this is the Mage of Ancients back at it again with another weekly vlog. It's almost a month since the Link format debuted, and from this point on we're probably going to be seeing some more Link-based archetypes as well as some new Link support for past archetypes. So what are we going to do from here? Well, for this video, I'm here to give you some suggestions on what I think are some of the best anti-Link tech cards that you can use for this format. Of course, if you guys have any suggestions on what are some of the best anti-Link tech cards out there, then of course, be sure to leave those suggestions down in the comments below. And you can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram and join the conversation. So I'm going to start off this list with some of the more well-known anti-Link tech cards. In fact, these cards have already been in the game for a long time, which is why I'm going to start off this list with Reggae Key. Of course, we all know what Reggae Key does. It destroys all of your opponent's monsters on the field. This has always been a good tech card, Link monster format or not. One of my biggest predictions for this format is that eventually we're going to see an archetype other than Trickstar or Goki or World Chalice that just lets a player just swarm the field with Link monsters and extra deck monsters, which is why Reggae Key will still come in handy when you're facing any one of those new archetypes. The next two well-known cards I'm going to be talking about in this video, of course, are the Solemn cards. I'm talking about Solemn Warning, which negates a special summon or any other effect that special summons a monster, and of course Solemn Strike, which negates any special summon or monster effect. By the way, I'm really looking forward to the special edition version of Code of the Duelist, because each special edition box gives you a chance for a super rare reprint of Solemn Strike. Now I can own a Solemn Strike just like all of the other veteran players. The next three anti-Link cards I'm going to be talking about are Hand Traps. First one I'm going to be talking about is Effect Veiler. Of course, during your opponent's main phase you can discard it to negate an opponent's monster on the field. Actually target and negate the effects of a monster that your opponent controls on the field. The next hand trap I don't highly recommend, but I really think you should consider, is Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. There are some Link monsters out there that activate their effects, and when that happens, you can discard your Ghost Ogre. And while Ghost Ogre doesn't negate that Link monster's effect, it does destroy it, so it can prevent your opponent from summoning any more extra deck monsters in those Link zones that the Link monster was pointing to. And the last hand trap I'm going to be talking about can potentially prevent your opponent's Link monsters from getting out onto the field, and that is Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. So what Ghost Reaper does is that you can discard it, then reveal a monster from your extra deck, and then banish all copies of that monster from your opponent's extra deck. This is good, especially since Mrs. Radiant is the go-to Link monster for Zodiac players. So basically, if you and your opponent both have at least one copy of Mrs. Radiant in your extra decks, then you can use Ghost Reaper to banish them and to slow down their Zodiac deck. So those are the hand traps. So now we're going to move over to trap cards. One of my favorite anti-Link trap cards is Lost Wind. In my opinion, I think this is one of the best rare print cards to come out of Raging Tempest. It's either me or I haven't seen that many players use Lost Wind more often. You should definitely consider Lost Wind when you're going up against Link monsters. What it does is that you can target a special summon monster that your opponent controls and then negate its effects and have its attack. And what's cool about Lost Wind is that when your opponent special summons another monster from their extra deck, in the same turn that you use Lost Wind, you can take it from your graveyard and then set it back again. So I think Lost Wind is definitely something that you should consider. And the last cards that I'm going to be talking about today for anti-Link techs are the Mirror Force cards. Of course, you can't go wrong with the original Mirror Force. What it does, of course, is that when your opponent declares an attack, you can destroy all attack position monsters that your opponents control. And of course, since Link monsters can only be summoned in attack position, then you can certainly use Mirror Force to your advantage. Radiant Mirror Force kind of requires a bit more patience before you can actually use it, since it requires your opponent to have 3 or more attack position monsters on his or her field. So in the meantime, I think the original Mirror Force will work just as well. Of course, there are Link monsters out there that have their own protection when it comes to being destroyed by card effects. In fact, it prevents them from being destroyed by card effects. I'm talking about Goki the Great Ogre and Ib the World Chalice Priestess, and what is it? Oh yeah, Trickstar Holy Angel as well. So the Mirror Force traps that you should use for Link monsters like those are Storming Mirror Force and Drowning Mirror Force. When it comes to using Storming and Drowning Mirror Force against these Link monsters, they could potentially return those cards back into your opponent's hand and extra deck, depending on which Mirror Force card that you use. So those are my picks for the best anti-link tech cards. What do you guys think are the best anti-link tech cards? Be sure to sound off in the comments below, and of course hit me up on my social media channels and join the conversation. And while you're at it, be sure to leave suggestions on what other topics I should talk about in future weekly vlogs. And finally, if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, be sure to give it a like and also join the notification squad by clicking the bell icon next to the subscribe button. Being part of my notification squad will give you the chance to see my videos first as soon as I upload them. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh videos like this. When we hit 100 subscribers, this channel will be in full swing, and I will be hosting a little contest to kick off everything. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Today's follower of the day is Clay Brown on YouTube. Show your support by subscribing and following me on my social media platforms and leaving feedback on my videos. And you could be my next follower of the day.